Today I'm talking to Alicia from Mexico. And Alicia uses inquiry-based stress reduction in workplaces in Mexico. And so Alicia is going to share her experience of how she's been using this process, what teams she's been using it with, and the sorts of results or outcomes that she's seen. So welcome, Alicia, and thank you very much for sharing your experience with me today.
Thank you, Karen, and I love to share the experience that I have seen in workplaces. Just a little background, I used to be an executive on the IT industry. And like any other industry, stress, it's all day long. We need to do and to get into our goals and to sell more and to do more and to be very proactive with our customers. So I have been there, and in most of my career, I just find out how to do it by guessing and to be stressed and push myself. So now that I share it with in companies, mainly on IT industry, what I have seen is that they can find the how. How can they manage their day? We are not the same people. We have different characteristics and attitudes and abilities. So when we finally found our own voice, our inner voice, things can become more easy. And the best thing that I have found in my experience working with executives is that they have unlimited options. So I'm going to just share with you a couple of examples. Mm-hmm. I work with face-to-face salespersons, and the challenge is that they have meetings with customers face-to-face. And you know, it sounds like so simple. You have to talk to the customer, set a time, and then you just show up. Well, that step is not that easy. Customers have a very tight schedule. They have a lot of vendors trying to sell them something. And of course, they don't give you a very easy way to meet you. So let's go. Once you go there, once you are sitting with that customer and you have like 5 minutes of his attention. He's busy, he wants to answer that mail, he's receiving WhatsApp. And so when I work with these executives, it's like, first, as an executive, are you prepared with your agenda? Are you clear with the communication that you want to give to the client? Most of them, they have done that work or not. But the first step is that they are aware that if they haven't or not. Why do the client put attention to me? If I'm going to, yesterday, I think if they are bubbling, the customer is not going to put any attention. So the first insight that they work on is, how am I going to send that communication to the customer? And secondly and I find 100% that all of them believe that, like, oh, this is a difficult time.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to buy me. He doesn't put any attention. He is also rude. He wants all discounts. You know, you can come up with a lot of stories about the client that is sitting in front of you. If you keep those stories, for sure you are going to take a long time to sell them.
Yeah.
But once when you're clear, and what I mean by clear, it's when you have your own insights. What am I thinking and believing about this customer? Am I bringing all the story that I have been, or I'm sitting fresh, new with this customer?
Yeah.
And one of the executives shared with me, it was a lady, and she said, like, you know, Alicia, when I was through the process, the customer asked me, like, what are you doing? You have changed. So even the customers have noticed how clear you can come. And now she has an office on the customer's office as well. So that will help enormously to her and to the company. And of course to the customer as well. So those are the benefits. How we do it, inquiry. Be still and inquiry. The second example that I have is that I also work with inside sales. Okay, so those guys receive like 50 calls a day, different clients asking for several things. And what they got clear, it's like, if I don't put any attention to the client, if I'm typing and receiving the phone call, it's my attention is gone because I want to do my job good. So when you, the inside sales, they have specific processes so the customer can, you know, can go through all the process of purchasing something. And the first thing that they realize is that I want to help him. So they destroy the process.
Yeah.
Because my process, they were thinking that my process is better than the company's process. So when they witnessed that process that they were in mind, and they were like 50 executives. So we have 50 different processes running through a company of 800 people. So it was very difficult. And secondly, what they have realized is that if they broke the rules or the process, the customer can do it too. And when the customer comes and like, okay, you can broke the process, you have done it for me, so do it again. That's when all the stress come, and they were real afraid to talk clearly to them.
Okay.
Very straight, saying, no, I have done it in the past, now I'm clear and I can do it. Okay. With that, one of the teams of, they were government accounts. On one quarter, they got 100 overachievement of their quota, just by being clear on the processes. So for me, these two examples are like, if we hold our inquiry process and we give us several examples on the, on the process, on the turnarounds, how can you go there? And you have several examples. That's the call to action that they can have. They get from that and they go to their workplaces and they can put it on. And if they feel stressed one more time or worry or confused, they go through the process one more time. So the environment of, it's the same company but different teams. The environment on that company has he has been getting better, and we have been working with them for 3 years. So each time we are going further.
So where did you start your journey with that company then in terms of inquiry?
I start with whom I'm talking to. Am I talking with the person I think or the person that it's in front of me? I started there. And then we developed different themes through these 3 years. And also the company has brands around Mexico, in the whole country. And this year we are going to work with the brands, because now they find it that in Mexico City, people talk in some way, and the brands there are behind.
Okay. And what's the feedback been from the participants themselves?
They improve in their workplaces as well on their personal life.
Yeah, good.
The nightmare that they were living with their customers, or with their daily work, they can see it, that it's also in their home.
Yeah.
So the feedback, it says like, okay, yes, I'm doing it better, I'm more clear. One thing that they are going around that is like, okay, you're in a story. So think one more time and just, give me just the real information.
Wow. Yeah.
That's the new communication that they have.
Yes.
And that's very useful, because they don't feel like they have been rejected. Just they are telling you like, okay, you're in a story, just be more clear, or give me the information that you really need.
Yeah.
And that they bring it to their wives and their children.
Yeah. So the stress reduces not only in their work life, in their personal life too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, enormously. And they see it clearer. In most companies, you have the belief that when you enter to your workplace, you left your home.
Yeah.
And when you go home, you left your workplace.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know who told us that, but I used to believe it until I go to inquiry. So now when I see that I have a nightmare at home, so now they are clear that they are the same person going around with the same story.
Yeah.
Or with the same clarity. And when they have clarity, they have options. Their options, not the option that somebody else told them.
Sounds like it's been a wonderful journey for this organization and the employees in it, and that they are gaining benefits more than they would have thought from doing the inquiry-based stress reduction process.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Process.
Mm-hmm. And also what I did find, Karen, and you know that when you are on this journey, people will have the information when they have it. The first year, the manager, the sales director hired me. And he was in this position like, okay, please fix them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to change neither my managers, but the staff, all the individual will change because you are coming and you are going to change them. And I said, okay. The second year, he saw some changes and he said like, wow, that's good. And this third year, the first thing that he told me, like, you know, I think that I need that kind of a program. I needed me and my staff, because it's like they're talking about something and I'm not sure, and I think that I need it. So even I started, if we can say it, I started the wrong way. Yes. I started the right way. Yes. I started right on the bottom, and since they were moving, the managers and the sales directors say like, I think that we need that kind of thing that they are using. So also this year we might work with the leaders.
Wow. How great that they've seen the change and realize the benefit, and that they're perhaps missing out on something that's really worthwhile. So
yeah, because they hear something, and some of them, they come up into some of the sessions, and they were hearing like, yes, that's what we need, and yes, that's very useful. They say that, but they didn't change. They just feel the stress. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm so busy that I can't be here, so I have to go there and run. And now they have seen it.
Wow. Well, it sounds like it's been very beneficial, and thank you so much for sharing your experience of using the work with the companies there in Mexico. I mean, that's it's great to hear. We know that it works. We know that it works.
We know it. Yeah, we know it. It's just time. It's to be there. It's just to be present. And what also has helped me is that I talk to them on the same language.
Yes. Yes. Yep. Because you've been there yourself. Yeah.
I've been there. Yeah. And I've been there and I've been lost.
Yes. Yeah.
Now that's my, I see how useful is the work to find a house. How can I do, or how can I deal with its customer? How can I sell them more? How? It's not a problem or the market or the change rate or the political things. One more thing, one of the face-to-face executives told this year, since Trump's election, we have a lot of changes, exchange rates and interest and everything. Mm-hmm. And the government said that he was going to cut every investment. And one of the face-to-face executives told me, like, you know, Alicia, I hear all around that government is not buying. And you know, I'm doing my quota with government. Am I wrong? I said, you tell me. What are you believing? And he said, like, this is the great opportunity for me to be there.
And he is. And he's getting his quota. So, yeah.
Yeah, he's doing his job. He's not worried about Trump or the exchange rate or the government. Yes. He's focused on what he has to do. And yeah, he's not believing that, oh, this is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing.
Yeah. Makes a difference.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Well, as I said, thank you so much for sharing your experience of working with organizations. I really, really appreciate your time.
Karen, it was my pleasure to share with you this. We we have our first conversation like 2 or 3 years ago. You inspire me, and we are just moved by what we really want, what it's a treasure. How can we share it with people?
Yeah. Yes, in a place where I think it's we spend so much of our time at work, don't we? And so many hours of our day at work when we believe we have to be there because we need the money, and it creates so much stress for us, and impacts our life generally, as you've talked about it, family life as well as our work life. And so it's wonderful to be able to have a tool that you can use to help with that generally.
Yes, and for me also, most to those executives, they know that the work has resources. They don't need the company to bring some programs. They can go back to their homes and share it with their wives, and they have all the resources available, free.
Yes.
And some executives, when I talk about the project of sharing the work in their companies, and when I said, like, if I'm gone, you can have everything. I'm just sharing the experience of doing it.
Yeah.
Since we need some knowledge about that, some education, let's say. But then you're free.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, no other program offers this.
No. Mm.
And we are a worldwide community.
We are. Yes. Yeah. Going to be speaking with a number of other people using the work in workplaces around the world: Europe, Japan, America, Canada. Yeah. So it's being used around the whole world, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just it's something that we enjoy very much.
We do.
We do, right? Yeah, and they gave us also our own work.
Always. Always.
Yeah. We also talk about our own experience.
Yeah.
Not is like, oh, that book says here that you have to. No, we have done it. We have been walking that same path.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can connect, really connect, on how you can feel when you're stressed, confused, or hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.